There will come a time in your life when you have to walk alone, when the people you trusted disappear, when the ones you thought would stand by you turn their backs, when you realize that not everyone is built to go where you're going. And in that moment, you have a choice: fall apart or rise up. Walking alone is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of growth. Because the truth is, most people fear solitude, they fear silence, they fear being left with nothing but their thoughts. But let me tell you something: strength is built in solitude. Growth happens in the quiet moments. Champions are made when no one is watching. If you can walk alone and still move forward, nothing can stop you. If you can be your own biggest supporter, your own motivator, your own leader, then no setback, no betrayal, no loss can break you. Walking alone teaches you who you really are. It forces you to confront your fears, to battle your doubts, to rely on your own strength. And when you make it through that fire, when you come out on the other side, you will be unshakable. People will doubt you. People will misunderstand you. People will leave you. Let them. Because the ones who cannot walk with you on your journey were never meant to go where you are destined to be. You are walking a path designed for you, and sometimes that means walking it alone. But remember this: you may be walking alone, but you are not weak. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are becoming something greater than they ever expected. You are becoming stronger than ever. Not everyone can walk with you. That's a truth most people struggle to accept. When you start on your journey, you assume that the people around you, your friends, your family, your coworkers, will be there with you every step of the way. You assume that because you've supported them, because you've been loyal, because you've stood by their side, they'll do the same for you. But life doesn't work that way. As you grow, as you elevate, as you step into your purpose, you'll start to notice that not everyone is meant to go where you're going. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll free yourself from disappointment, from frustration, from the weight of carrying people who were never meant to walk with you in the first place. Growth requires separation. When you start to change, when you start to demand more of yourself, when you start to expect more from life, certain people will pull away. They'll say you've changed. They'll say you think you're better than them. They'll question your choices, your goals, your ambition. But understand this: it's not about you, it's about them. It's about their fear of being left behind. It's about their discomfort with your growth, because it forces them to face the fact that they're standing still. Not everyone wants to evolve. Not everyone is willing to put in the work. And when they see you doing what they refuse to do, they'll either try to hold you back or remove themselves from your life entirely. Let them go. It's painful when people leave. It hurts when someone you thought would be there forever suddenly isn't. But the pain of losing people is nothing compared to the pain of holding on to those who no longer serve your journey. You cannot drag people into a future they don't want for themselves. You cannot shrink yourself to fit into relationships that are no longer aligned with who you are becoming. If someone cannot celebrate your success, if they cannot support your growth, if they cannot walk beside you without trying to hold you back, they are not meant to continue with you. Some people are only meant to be part of your story for a season. And when their season is up, you have to let them go. It doesn't mean they were bad people. It doesn't mean the time you spent with them wasn't valuable. It just means that their role in your journey has ended. Trying to force people to stay when they no longer belong in your life will only slow you down. It will keep you stuck in places you've outgrown. And the longer you hold on to the wrong people, the harder it will be to step into the life you're meant to live. You have to understand that the higher you go, the lonelier it gets. That's not a bad thing. That's just the way it works. Think about it. Mountains get narrower at the top. The peak is never crowded. Because only a few are willing to do what it takes to get there. Only a few are willing to endure the climb, to push through the struggle, to make the sacrifices necessary to rise above. And if you're serious about reaching the top, you have to be willing to walk alone when necessary. Don't waste your energy trying to convince people to support you. Don't waste your time trying to make them see your vision. Some people are not supposed to understand your journey because it's not their journey to understand. Focus on the path ahead. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Focus on surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, who push you, who believe in you. Because the right people will never feel threatened by your growth. They will never try to hold you back. They will walk with you, not against you. So if people leave, let them. If they doubt you, prove them wrong. If they can't handle your success, wish them well and keep moving forward, because the right people, the ones who truly belong in your life, will never require you to shrink to make them comfortable. They will never make you feel guilty for chasing greatness. They will never stand in the way of your purpose. Not everyone can walk with you, and that's okay. Keep walking anyway, keep climbing anyway, keep growing anyway, because the ones who are meant to be with you on this journey, they'll find you at the top. Solitude builds strength. Most people fear being alone. They think that if they're walking by themselves, something must be wrong. They believe that success, happiness, and fulfillment come from being surrounded by others, from having a crowd to validate them. But the truth is, the greatest strength comes from the moments when it's just you. When there's no applause, no audience, no one to lean on. Those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments that build you. When you walk alone, you have no distractions. You're not caught up in the noise of other people's opinions, expectations, or limitations. You're not wasting energy trying to fit into someone else's version of success. You are focused. You are intentional. You are building something that is truly yours. And that kind of clarity, that kind of discipline, it makes you unstoppable. Solitude forces you to rely on yourself. When you have no one else to turn to, you discover how strong you really are. You learn that you don't need permission to chase your dreams. You don't need validation to know your worth. You don't need someone else to believe in you before you take action. You become your own support system, your own motivation, your own guide. And once you develop that kind of self-reliance, you'll never allow anyone to make you feel small again. The world will try to tell you that being alone means you're lost, that if you're walking alone, you must be doing something wrong, but that's a lie. Some of the most powerful, successful, and legendary people in history spent long periods of time in solitude, training, studying, building, creating. They didn't waste time seeking approval. They didn't wait for company. They locked in. They sacrificed. And when they emerged, they were stronger, sharper, and more powerful than ever. Walking alone builds discipline. When no one is watching, when no one is holding you accountable, when no one is pushing you, it's easy to quit. It's easy to slow down. It's easy to make excuses. But when you learn to stay disciplined even in solitude, when you commit to your goals even when no one else is checking on you, that's when you become dangerous. Because that's when you realize that success isn't about motivation, it's about consistency. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work when no one is clapping for you, when no one is noticing, when no one is cheering. That's what separates the great from the average. Strength isn't built in comfort. Strength isn't built when you're surrounded by support. Strength is built in the struggle. It's built in the moments when you want to give up but don't. In the moments when you have no one to depend on but yourself. In the moments when you have to dig deep and find a way to keep going, even when everything in you wants to stop. That's where the real power comes from. So if you're walking alone right now, if you feel like nobody understands your vision, if you feel like you're on a path that no one else seems to be walking, embrace it. This is your season of growth. This is your season of becoming. Don't rush it. Don't resist it. Lean into it. Because when you come out on the other side, you won't just be stronger, you'll be unstoppable. Doubt and betrayal are part of the process. It doesn't matter how good you are, how loyal you've been, or how much you've given. At some point, people will doubt you. Some will walk away. Some will talk behind your back. Some will look you in the eye and swear they've got your back, only to turn around and betray you the moment it benefits them. That's life. That's human nature. But what separates the strong from the weak is how you respond. Most people take betrayal personally. They sit in the pain. They replay the conversations, the moments, the history, trying to figure out what went wrong. They let the doubt and the disappointment drain their energy. But listen to me, you don't have time for that. You don't have time to sit around mourning the loss of people who were never meant to walk your journey with you. You don't have time to seek revenge, to prove your worth, to convince anyone of your greatness. Let them doubt you. Let them betray you. Let them leave. Because the truth is, their exit is making space for something greater. Doubt is fuel. Some people will underestimate you. Some will laugh at your dreams. Some will tell you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. Good. Let them. Because nothing is more powerful than proving people wrong, not with words, but with results. Every great success story is filled with moments of doubt. Every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary has had to push past the voices telling them they couldn't do it. If you let their doubt stop you, you never truly believed in yourself to begin with. Use it as fuel. Let it push you to work harder, to stay focused, to show up every single day, until they have no choice but to respect you. And betrayal? That's not your loss, it's theirs. When someone betrays you, they're revealing their character, not yours. They are showing you that they were never worthy of walking this journey with you. Don't cry over people who are willing to throw you away. Don't chase after those who turned their backs on you. They did you a favor. They showed you who they really are, and now you are free. Free to move forward without dead weight. Free to walk your path without distractions. Free to build your future without worrying about who's secretly working against you. Greatness comes with a price. If you want to do something meaningful, if you want to leave a legacy, if you want to be different, you will experience doubt and betrayal. It's inevitable. But here's what you need to remember. You are built for this. You are built to overcome. You are built to endure. You are built to rise above every setback, every disappointment, every loss. Nothing can stop you unless you let it. So let them doubt. Let them betray. Let them go. But you keep going. You keep building. You keep proving to yourself day after day that you never needed them in the first place. Because at the end of the day, success is the best revenge. And when you finally get to where you're going, they'll regret ever doubting you. Be your own motivation. Too many people wait for someone else to push them. They wait for applause, for approval, for validation. They rely on the encouragement of others to keep going. But what happens when nobody is cheering? What happens when no one is watching? What happens when the support disappears? If your motivation depends on other people, you'll never make it. You have to learn how to push yourself, how to show up for yourself, how to be your own greatest source of strength. The truth is, not everyone wants to see you win. Not everyone will believe in you. And even those who do, they have their own lives, their own struggles, their own battles to fight. You can't expect anyone to carry you. You can't expect anyone to wake you up in the morning, to make sure you stay disciplined, to make sure you keep working. That's your job. That's your responsibility. When you wake up in the morning, you have a choice. You can roll over and go back to sleep, or you can get up and chase your dreams. You can complain about how hard life is, or you can get to work and change your situation. You can make excuses, or you can make progress. But at the end of the day, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success. No one is going to do the work for you. If you want it, you have to go get it. That's why self-discipline is more powerful than motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. Some days you'll feel fired up, ready to conquer the world. Other days you won't even want to get out of bed. But discipline is what keeps you moving forward even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what separates the successful from the average. It's what makes the difference between the people who talk about their dreams and the people who actually achieve them. There will be days when you feel tired, when you feel discouraged, when you feel like giving up. That's when you need to remind yourself why you started in the first place. That's when you need to dig deep and push yourself even when no one else is watching. Because that's where real success is built, in the moments when nobody sees, nobody claps, nobody encourages you. In the moments when you have to rely on nothing but your own willpower. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone else to believe in you. Be your own motivation. Be your own biggest supporter. Be the kind of person who doesn't need an audience to show up, to grind, to stay consistent. Because the ones who can push themselves without external validation, those are the ones who go the farthest. Those are the ones who win.